times. When those in power impose censorship, when they blatantly violate the dignity of people, when they shut down spaces of dissent and gun down cultural activists, they aim to violate more than civil liberties and freedom of speech. They seek to seal off dreams and arrest hope. There's a lovely story by Vladimir Nabokov called Invitation to a Beheading, in which we are offered a dystopic image of how the insecure anxieties of despots may violate the right to dream. Cincinnatus, the protagonist, who's been arrested for a crime in which he refuses to be legible to the state, is punished and he's in jail, and Rule 6 of the manual of the prison says it is desirable that the inmate should not have dreams at all. And if he does, it should immediately be suppressed, or it should be in such a way that the context might be incompatible with the condition and status of the prisoner. Dreaming in such undreamy times turns out to be the greatest resistance against the terror of the real, and the only avenue through which one escapes the everyday tyranny of nightmares. The memo Antigone for me then is a reminder of what it may mean to dream and demand the impossible. It said that Antigone was in love with the impossible, and you hear this in the very first scene. And this demanding of the impossible is really the echo of Antigone through the years. You can hear the echo of Antigone in the words of James Baldwin, a remarkable African-American novelist, when he says, "I know what I'm asking is impossible. But in our time, as in every time, the impossible is the least that one can demand." And one is, after all, emboldened by the spectacle of human history in general, and American Negro history in particular, for it testifies to nothing less than the perpetual achievement of the impossible. You hear it in the words of the Czech dissenter and playwright Václav Havel. When he was in jail, it would have been difficult for Havel to imagine that he would one day be the first democratically elected president. And Havel rejected politics as being the art of the possible. Instead, what he argued was that democracy's future hinges upon resisting those fears which prevent dreaming the impossible into waking life. Dreamers very often have tiny feet, but the little steps that they take are already a marvelous victory against despondency. While the constitutional promise of all of these things, life, liberty, equality, dignity, may have a public face to it, this translates into what it may be to claim these in law. There is also equally the private face of these claims, and these can only be located in what someone has described as the little communities of love. And we learn to demand perfection of the larger world out there from the experiments that we conduct in the little communities that we live in. One cannot wait for the perfect community to be formed before you form the little community. And all of you have been very privileged to have spent 2 years in precisely such an environment, learning to live with and for each other, fighting for what you care for. So all of you, the batch of 2015, as you step out from Mewkey into the world, you will find that the world out there is much larger, but also much smaller than the world here. And I wish you a lot more than luck. I wish you lightness, I wish you care, and I wish you dream as impossibly as Antigone did. Thank you. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you very, very much. Whether you dreamt of receiving your Mewkey Diploma 2 years ago or not, you will now receive it. You will receive it in alphabetical order, according to first name. We usually don't even know what your last names are till the last day of your tenure here. So we will begin with Aditya. Abhishek. Aditya Karan.
Adrian. Adriana. Ahan. Aida. Hello. Alvaro. Aman. Amelia. Anna. Anaita. Anama. Andrea. Andres. Arista. Army. Arnav Lohe. Arnav Sibyl. Aryaman. Ashish. Teresa. Carol. Chahat. Chetan. Dan. Daisy. Disha. Tuan. Yes, sir. Anna. Garima. Henna. Ian. Indy. Jackson. Jackson also receives the pilot Mahindra project-based diploma. Jamie. GA. Camilla. Kate. Lam. Laila. Lynn. Louise. Leela. Luciana. Lewis. Malaika. Malvika. Manraj. Maria. Maria Helena. Maria. Martina. Maya. Meghna. Mehdi. Mercy. Miranda. Loketsi. Muhammad. Nara. Neha. Neil, who also receives the pilot Mahindra project. Nicholas. Nilza. Nitai. Nizar. Numaya. Nurul Adrina. Parul. Patricia. Pavan. Punso. Chinmay. Prashant. Rachel. Radhika. Ram, who also receives the pilot Mahindra. Ravina. Rihanna. Ritvika. Rohan. Ruben. Safia. Salahuddin. Sam. Shabal. Shenyu. Shriyansh. Shreya. Shruti. Sigurd. Smriti. Sonia. Sriyoshi. Srinidhi.